Marcus was patrolling in the early hours of the morning in Ranthambore National Park, India. That day, he was walking alone in the park. As he proceeded through the quiet and serene nature, something caught his attention and made him freeze in his tracks. Just a few meters ahead, amidst dense greenery, stood a female tiger. Marcus was stunned. He hadn't expected to encounter a tiger. The female tiger had noticed him and was watching him with curiosity, her eyes fixed on him. Marcus was only a few meters away from the wild animal, contemplating the quickest way to escape this dangerous situation. But upon closer inspection, he noticed something peculiar. The tiger seemed to be trying to move, but appeared to be stuck. The experienced man cautiously approached, and what he saw deeply saddened him. The tiger had its paw caught in a trap set by poachers. The female tiger was struggling to free herself from the trap, but to no avail. Marcus became furious upon realizing the situation, yet he also felt immense sorrow for the tiger. Suddenly, a small furry creature emerged from the thick bushes. It was a tiger cub, likely the offspring of the trapped tiger. Instinctively sensing danger, the cub approached its mother for protection. Then, something unexpected happened that astonished Marcus. The female tiger gently nudged her cub towards Marcus, as if placing her trust in him and silently asking for help. Marcus hesitated. He knew he shouldn't interfere with nature, but if he didn't act, the cub and its mother would likely perish. Yet, he was afraid of approaching the female tiger to free her from the trap. What if the wild animal attacked him? Perhaps the poachers would return and harm him while he tried to rescue her. But the tiger's gaze seemed pleading. Marcus carefully picked up the cub. The female tiger looked at him with what seemed like gratitude and concern. Marcus decided to help the tiger and began working to free her paw from the trap. Surprisingly, the female tiger remained remarkably calm, perhaps understanding Marcus's intention. Eventually, he managed to release her paw from the trap, but contrary to expectations, the tiger didn't immediately leap to her feet. Instead, she lay in agony. It was only now that Marcus realized the extent of her injuries. A few minutes later, summoning all her strength, the female tiger rose to her feet, bearing deep wounds, and looked at Marcus with a pitiful expression. Understanding the seriousness of the situation, Marcus immediately called for backup. The park's medical team arrived swiftly. The female tiger was sedated and carefully transported to a veterinary clinic. It was discovered that her wounds were severe and infected due to the rusty metal trap, putting her at risk of death. Even if she survived, she might need her leg amputated. The medical team meticulously cleaned her wounds and administered antibiotics to fight off infection. A race against time began. While the medical team focused on the female tiger, Marcus took care of the cub. He named her Tara. Spending time with the tiger cub, feeding her, and showering her with affection, Marcus watched as Tara rapidly grew stronger in the following weeks. Meanwhile, park authorities launched a relentless pursuit of the poachers responsible for this cruelty, ensuring that no other tigers or animals would suffer and die in similar traps. Over the next few days, park rangers scoured the area for suspicious activities and finally made a breakthrough, apprehending a group of men whom they handed over to the authorities. Simultaneously, the condition of the mother tiger, under the care of the medical team, gradually improved. Despite the battle against infection, she managed to survive. Marcus and his team realized that it was time to reintroduce the female tiger back into the wild. However, there was a concern. The female tiger had been under veterinary care for weeks and needed to readjust to life in the wild. She had been separated from her cub for a long time, raising doubts about whether she would accept the cub again after so much time apart. To minimize stress on the tiger, the team decided to release her alone. They selected a remote area within Ranthambore National Park where she could rediscover her instincts and freedom. The transition to the wild would be challenging. However, the female tiger seemed to quickly adapt to her former habitat. After releasing the mother tiger, the team planned to release the cub. It was time for them to reunite with each other. Tension mounted as they waited to see how the female tiger would react to her cub. Marcus observed this magical moment for a safe distance. At first, the female tiger hesitated upon seeing her cub, but as soon as she recognized her offspring, joy was evident in her eyes. They ran towards each other and embraced. The mother tiger gently began to groom her cub. In the following weeks, Marcus continued his patrols. The threat of poaching seemed to have been averted, and a sense of tranquility settled over Ranthambore National Park. Marcus never knew what he would encounter on his patrols. However, one day, during a patrol, he noticed something unusual in the distance. There were two tigers. Instinctively, he wanted to retreat to avoid getting too close to them. But the two predators seemed to have noticed him and started running towards him. It was then that Marcus realized these tigers were Tara and her mother, whom he had rescued a few weeks ago. The big cats approached him and circled around him. Marcus was bewildered. He had never seen or experienced anything like this before. The tigers did not display aggressive behavior and did not harm him. It was as if they were thanking him for his help. After a few minutes, the two tigers disappeared into the dense bushes. Marcus never saw them again, but he knew they were safe now. This event left a profound impact on Marcus's life. From then on, he became even more appreciative of every day spent in the park. Walking in nature, he observed every detail more attentively: the sway of trees in the wind, the chirping of birds, and the quiet movements of other wild animals brought him peace. This experience strengthened his bond with nature even more. Following this incident, Marcus began taking a more active role in combating poaching. Alongside other park rangers at Ranthambore National Park, he participated in various trainings to enhance park security and prevent such ruthless acts. They also developed new strategies for the protection of other animals living in the park. His determined efforts marked a significant turning point in wildlife conservation in the region. Marcus's endeavours led to unprecedented levels of security and protection in Ranthambore, making the park safer and more vibrant than ever before. Nature was thriving again thanks to these dedicated conservationists, and Marcus was proud to be part of this positive change. For Marcus, Ranthambore National Park was not just a workplace, but a place where his life found meaning. Every day, he continued to do his best to protect the natural beauty and inhabitants of the park. The unforgettable experience with Tara and her mother reaffirmed to him how fragile and deserving of protection nature truly is. Protecting nature and animals is vital for our future. By protecting natural habitats, we can maintain ecosystem balances and defend the right to life of animals. Small steps taken by each individual can lead to big changes by raising environmental awareness. This planet is our common home.